So you're probably wondering where I am at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm currently in the middle of the woods, waiting for a coyote. Because, sadly, interdimensional travel is currently restricted due to the, pandemic. Apparently, the Interdimensional Travel Agency does not want any other viruses or outbreaks or anything of that nature to happen. While I agree in avoiding the possibility of a zombie outbreak, I believe this is a little much. So I have to wait for a coyote to escort me to a portal that will take me to the America, in another to the dimension where America is. That well, you know the rest. Either way, though. While we're waiting for the coyote, ladies and gentlemen, Gate Wastelands chapters, well, the hearing, part 1 and 2 has released, and I'm going to break it down for you while we wait for the coyote. So, let me just go ahead and say this now. I called a lot of what was said in this thing, and a lot of the stuff I really do wish was handled a little better. I wish there was a lot more that could have been added to this chapter to definitely flesh out a little bit. One of the things I really wish that we could have seen was the general public's reaction. Or maybe they're waiting for that, or maybe the Shadow Trooper is waiting for that in the next chapter to sort of give us that general public reaction. Outside of that, though, the biggest thing about it is just good. I called a lot of what was going to happen. The cons, of course, talking about their history, their culture. However, I really do wish there was a Native American representative there to sort of, you know, kind of sympathize with the cons, because Native American history is sort of similar to the Great Khans. Their people have been slaughtered, men and women killed, a lot of other atrocities done to them. So I can definitely see the Great Khans and Native Americans definitely getting along and being buddy-buddy, and definitely getting a lot of sympathy from the Native American community. Followers of the Apocalypse were called out for being a doomsday cult, even though being, until they were informed that they're not a doomsday cult, they are a humanitarian group. And already, like I said, requesting aid, requesting doctors, engineers, people who want to help. And Robert House, telling them about the war between the US and China, nuclear war, what have you, again, all that good stuff. Again, wanting help from the US to sort of make the Mojave great again. NCR wanting help in patrolling the routes, wanting military aid, and just more or less a alliance. The Brotherhood of Steel, which I gotta love that they didn't call themselves Brotherhood of Steel, and instead they actually called themselves the actual unit they were during the pre-war, basically wants to learn more about the US. And what I gotta love is that the United States basically said, look, we're advanced but not advanced at the same time, so in exchange for telling us about, you know, the weapon, the lasers and plasma guns, we'll let you into our labs and let you use all the technology we have, let you study as much as you want. And I loved it, I really do. It was great, it was amazing. It was perfectly well done and executed. And I could just imagine the Brotherhood of Steel scribe or paladin or whoever was representing the Brotherhood of Steel freaking creaming themselves at being offered this, or seeing the big Cheshire Cat grin that was being given, essentially. And then we come to Caesar's Legion, which I'm actually surprised we didn't get a retribution. Retribution! No, instead, Caesar's Legion's ambassador, Frumentari, basically requested that the U.S. stay neutral in the region. Again, I would have loved a general sentiment, or at least a general reaction to all these factions, but I'm guessing we're waiting until the next chapter for Shadow Trooper to actually give us that reaction. And I really do hope we do get those reactions, because, again, this is a really good story. It legitimately is well executed, it is well done, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the general public's reaction to everything is, especially at the fact of there was a nuclear war between the US and China. But here's the thing, folks. It doesn't just stop there. There is, of course, political talks after the hearings. Literally saying we need to replace the general that's there. We need to get the Vietnam veteran out of there and replace him with new, fresher minds. sort of like the British during World War II when they need a new, fresher mind into Parliament, or at least they need new blood to sort of help bring victory. Again, this sort of thing does happen in the military, where they need to retire an old dog whose ways doesn't match up with the modern war that they need to fight. And again, I fucking love it. It's really good. I know I've said this a lot, but it is legitimately a good story. And I really do wish that the author, would go a little longer. I wish that he wouldn't just contain it to several thousand words, instead go over the several thousand and go a little further. Shadow Trooper, you are making a really good story, and I am imploring you, go a little further, push yourself, make this as good as I know you can make it, because I've seen your other Gate stories. And while, yes, I am going to cover them in future Rapid reviews, do know now that he does legitimately make good stories. And I encourage all of you to go to this story, comment, and tell him, dude, this is really good. Push yourself. Go a little further. He has polish. The guy knows what he's doing. If he just pushes himself a little bit more and actually makes the stories, makes each chapter a little longer and gives us a little bit more meat instead of an appetizer with each story, and that's what it feels like. It feels like he's giving us appetizers instead of full-on dinners or full-on meals. And as much as I love pretzel bites with some literally Bavarian beer mustard, I'd like to have a full-on steak or burger. And I'm asking you, Shadow Trooper, give us a full meal. Give us the full course. Give us something. Or at least let us know in the comments, or even a statement that, what you're doing, or even contact me. But, either way, though, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al. Links to both chapters, or at least to the one chapter that will lead to the next one, in the comments down below. And, again, I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I legitimately am. And if you guys have a Fallout fanfiction that is primarily America-based that you would like me to check out, drop them in the comment section down below, and I will get to them as soon as humanly possible. But I'm getting a signal. I'm seeing my possible coyote, or maybe a fed, so I'm going to have to go, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see you guys in the Mach Imperium.